I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is July 28, Monday, 2025. Hope you had a good week and a good weekend day today. So just to make this simple here, we talked about gapping up. I actually mentioned it in the video on Friday. And for the guy who, disliked my video, go fuck off. Because you have no business disliking any of the videos I make, especially when it's for free. So definitely go fuck off. But talking about gapping up, I said it might gap up, but coming up and then retracing back and then flowing like that. So we kind of got that today. We obviously gapped up, went high, and then retraced back. They're doing it at the end of the day. And then pretty much this was a 4-hour imbalance right here. But I refined it to a 1 hour and then took the sell at 10 o'clock to come down for liquidity and seal the opening range gap was pretty much the goal today. So pretty smooth. Look at them doing it at the end of the day. Fucking little bitches. But you'll see here, I'm gonna stop even showing trades. I'm over all this, but you'll see here that we get into there was a 4-hour here, and then I just refined it to the 1 hour, and you'll see it. We're popping up above the opening range gap. No, I'm sorry, the new weekly gap, and then right there you can see this wick here, body. The wicks tag in. We've already accomplished this goal. Bottom half of that hourly imbalance. We have a shift of structure here. That's a control of price coming underneath it. I'm on the bottom left side right here. And then the goal is to come down here. They're going to induce liquidity at 9:30. You can see the opening range gap. There's not too many levels here. There's the quad level of the week gap. You have the opening range gap. And I just have the highs dragged over. Okay, very simply. And then you'll see here we get a little shift here. So high, higher, low, high, break. And as you can see, all these bullish candles, they stay. They don't break until you see it happening here, obviously, right? So you can see us bouncing around the quad levels, and then we come outside of it just to sweep outside, and then get stuck there, and then balance holds. But pretty not that great of price action, but that first imbalance is right here for today. It's going to be used for the rest of the week. We actually just came back to it now as we're speaking. And then you can see us bouncing around it, right? This is not coincidence. Then boom, here, coming down right to seal the rest of this gap. But my goal is to get underneath it and seal the gap itself, right? So projection here, -2 to 2.5 is also the play. So real simple. And then wasn't able to catch the buy. It was too quick for me. And then just called it a day because it was London close. Look what we just did now. If you think that's a coincidence, can't be. So, and in general speaking, this was also a speaker. See that right there? Can you see it? You can see it on the 15-minute real easy there. And, if you're looking at the structure, like, oh, this is confusing. Well, this is kind of like an auction area. So, like, you'll see, once you make a break and they come back in, and this is it coming back in. But what's really the goal of that sell that I was showing you is that's liquidity, which was made at 845 high, which would be obviously right here. So you have liquidity and balance, and that's pretty much the model all in itself. Between a 15-minute to a 4-hour, generally you'd like to see it on a 15-minute, but in this case it was an hour to 4-hour. So pretty logical. And then getting to the -2 standard deviation, if you're looking at the highs here, that's a high in the green, that's a high, and that's a high from this, and those two highs are on Friday, so you can see that. And you can say, well, why are you using that? Well, these are two down candles, and this is a breakout area, so it coming back to it is very logical, right? And we didn't get that price action like S&P that we would have hoped for. Nas didn't really get it, so they're just being little bitches and then doing it at the end of the day. That's not coincidence. But in this case, I'm looking for a pump dump. right? So it's gonna, in this case, you can see we get this shift right here, right? And in a perfect world, you would have loved, you knew the opening range gap settlement was down here and wherever it opened, and here's 9 o'clock, right? So it pushing down, I would love for it to keep coming, but it didn't. So it kept coming back up. So, okay, cool. I had to reassess, and then you can see the shift here, right? Like you can see right here, this push up, it retraces back. Right here, that's at 930 level. It doesn't keep going lower. And then at 930, they tagged, by the way, that 25%, bottom 25%. So they didn't keep going, and that's what we would have liked to have seen. So obviously that didn't work. Yeah, you had some imbalances. Yeah, you had this 25%. Yeah, you had the first imbalance, but they were being, this is manipulation. This is what it looks like. So even though I know it's going up, I'm not bullish from here, especially with a liquidity void there, right? So I would never buy this. I'm not interested in buying this. I'm looking for the sell. And that's how I got it up here. So, and again, a speaker, right? Just trying to confuse people on a fucking Monday. But anyways, hope that all makes sense for you. And then you have this inversion. It's kind of pretty much holding the price there too. But we also have that high. So that high from Friday right here, which is the actually Friday's high. And they're playing around right here. So they push up and they come right back really dirty here. And then it's just another leg down, right? To just get into here, and then pushing back up to that 25%. I don't want to keep getting into this, but you can see it dancing around these levels. 50% of the gap right there of today's of the new week gap, and then getting right back to that area right there. Not sealing it on purpose, being dirty. Again, have to walk away. It wants to go up without me. So I don't even think we're done with the bottom side, to be honest, but we'll see. Anyways, this is a low, and that's the lower high up here. So it has all right to come down, not take that out, and come all the way back up here just to squeeze out again, and then build liquidity and then raid down. Eventually, I don't know if Asia, London will do that, but you can see it working right now on these levels here. But that's pretty much it. I gotta move forward. Gotta make videos short. Also, what's conflicting, or what not conflicting, but what's in support, I should say, with that sell is that I'm looking at dollar just waking up and going up, right? So that's a little bit of a tidbit. You also had a you had a higher high here on NAS, and they had lower highs here. So this is, I would have loved this price action over this price action. But, and as you can see to the left of the chart, you know, you want to come and try to target this, but NAS, they didn't give that to you with NAS. You can see S&P coming to take out those lows there on Friday. They're coming in back into the 50% of the range, even of the actual Friday candle, and even below her. So that's a better discount. And they're not giving us much of a discount here. So that's kind of explaining that. And then again, fuckery doing it at the end of the day. But higher highs here, clear lower highs there with S&P and Dow, and then sure enough it comes down. So looked at this here, and then I still didn't buy it though, but higher lows here with Dow, and then lower lows here. So I was still kind of flowing with the downside, and then when we got to this little top here, you can see a higher high here with Dow, and then that was ready to roll it down for one more time. But then take a look at this. They did not take out that low. That's a higher low. They pushed up, clear lower lows here. So there's your divergence of pushing up with NAS, and so on. Nothing else to really mention there. High resistance looking a little bit. This is Dow. So Friday stopped here. We gapped up. We took that high out. We immediately came back into the Friday's candle, low to high. And then we're just sitting there. Now, you know, I would expect it to kind of keep going up here, but that breakout level, do they want to come and dip in here first? And maybe Monday, is Monday the low now of the week, or is it Tuesday? I'm thinking it might be Tuesday, but we'll just have to play it day by day right here. And end of the month shit. So, right? So you're following me on that, right? Okay, and then. And I expected to see them to keep the body down here, but I'll get to that in a second. But because there's no body now, so this is what I wanted to see with NAS. but we didn't get that. So the body here, you can see them closing below. Now, eventually, they're only offering sell side. Now you need to look for the buy side pushing up for another candle in the daily. Do they want to dip into this imbalance right here, breakout level? I don't need to draw it. You can see it right there, all right? And then that's this area here with that liquidity, the previous 2-day lows. So we'll see if they want to do that or not. And the weekly can come back into the previous week candle and get some of that body, which is going to be liquidity in there. But see, this is exactly what I wanted to see with Nas, and that we didn't get it. So you know, but what's the main goal here was that the logic of it retracing, you know, again, I'm mentioning an expansion and a gap and then a retracement. So we're in this phase here coming down. Now, I mean, well, we did push up nicely. So, well, specifically speaking of Nas, now we're like here. Ness, I know I did not come this low. It came up and it stopped here. Okay, I understand that. And then it's going up. So, hey, whatever. But is that going to be that final leg? So, it's going to be a lower high. They're going to be building it. You know, are they going to come one down? Because this to me, and then so as far as the agenda goes for the algorithm, like, you know, they pushed up to kind of sweep those easy sellers, that breakout area, auction area right here, as you can see that. And then for me, this was the agenda. Whatever it did after this, it didn't fucking matter. But yeah, I feel like I'm missing something. And then they're finally pushing up. Little lagging all day, bullshit. Dangled that gap a little bit. And yeah, I don't know what else. I'm exhausted. Didn't even want to do this video. Just really tired. But as you can see, this partied a lot this weekend. You can see this. There's no body right there. It's just wick, right? So it's gonna look at that as a. It's gonna still look at it as a gap. Let me take this off here. It's annoying a little bit, but yeah. Well, we're kind of stuck here. I mean, in a perfect world, I mean, you know, it didn't leave a body, but you know, if this is that higher low and that they want to go up for another range, then okay, cool, do that, right? And then we'll talk about maybe it coming down. Oh, I fucked it up. This is what I really meant to say here. So maybe it wants to dip back in and then go back up, be that last drive up, and then maybe come down to sweep here. Because I also like these two guys right here from the PM session of Friday. We didn't get that, right? But if it doesn't do this, all right, because you can see the drives, right? You can see them like from this range here. When we made this higher low, we popped up. It's a little shallow, still pushing up. For me, I feel like okay, the drives are up, all right. And even if you look at the 15-minute, you can see the drives here just in this drive by itself. So one push up, this push up 2, and then that push up 3. But you'll say, what about that one? Well, it didn't take out that high. So if you want to count it as 4, sometimes I do that. There's no perfect way to do it, but sometimes I'll count that as a drive. So up 1, up 2, up 3, up 4, right? Not trying to get ahead of myself here, but the point is that like I'm looking at this range kind of, and then after it has built these higher lows, where is the sell model? Sell models are in the range. That would be this liquidity right here. So this consolidation, we push up, come back and get it. For me, technically, I like this area here. I like this as being the consolidation, pushing up, low risk buy, and then some accumulation back up. And then here, we're looking at this as, okay, well, low risk sell up here, accumulation 1, accumulation 2 that we're doing now, and then I'm going to assume this. you know, something like that, you know. So that's very possible too. But looking at the seasonal data, yeah, September looks like it's pulling back in on the 30-year and the 15-year. The 5-year looks like it's just going to keep moseying up like the way we are. So we'll see, but there's no body here. So I would have just it would have been nice if they just closed the body here. Excuse me. And then the next day open up and then push up, but let's see. Now there is a daily imbalance here, so we might get that in Asia. Let me highlight it from here to this low. This is, hold on a second. Yeah, I don't understand how anyone can dislike my video. Motherfucker, I do this shit for free for it. How you gonna hate? Like, what a bitch. Okay. Come on, buddy. All right. So, I think it's really right here. Yeah. All right, so we have a daily imbalance right there. This does not need to be on the daily. All right, and again, they're gauging. So you notice how the price action's above these highs, below the highs. So they're trying to come back underneath, because anyone just sees the price moving up here, they're trying to push buy right there, right? So they're coming back to make sure to get them. But I just really like this level here. We'll see though. But just gonna keep it smooth and simple for now. And I was about to just say something, but yeah, again, no body here. There's an imbalance right there. I want to see this candle tag this July 24th Thursday high, or even the body, so somewhere in here at minimum. But hey, they might have already done their deed here, because this price action here, see this? So this high, and then you push up, and then it has down candles, then it pushes up again. So they're going to use this as already structured price action, where it doesn't need to come anymore below, and it becomes like a support, is what I'm really trying to say. So that's kind of might be explaining that, and that's why I would just assume that it would just keep going up, right? So pushing up, like I gave that example earlier, right? All right, I don't think there's anything else. Let me just be done, man, because I need to go. Family's still in town, and you guys take care. God bless.